Good afternoon. My name is John, and this is a Homestead Diary. Warm day today, as you can see. Been doing a lot of digging. We've got this little project going on where one of the lines leading to the yard hydrants had a leak in it somewhere. And so I dug a hole, and where Amber identified the leak, there were a bunch of tires here stacked up. And then there was a valve on the downhill side of the leak. And it was obvious that there had been a repair there before, although not really sure why at the time. But the break allowed us the opportunity to add a new yard hydrant, which is cool because we're putting in these gardens, and obviously we need water, lots of water. And so it turns out that there's still a leak, but the leak, fortunately, is downhill from the valve. And we're not sure where, but about 100 yards that way, in the woods at the edge of the fence line, is another hydrant. I'm assuming that that's what they use to water their cattle or hogs or whatever they were raising. And so the valve that is back here allows us to cut that off and isolate it so that it's not going to continue leaking for now. But we're going to actually put an additional yard hydrant on the far end of the garden. You can see, you probably can't see from the video, but I'm walking a line right here where it's obvious that the line was buried to put the yard hydrant, which is way back there, in. And so we'll probably come to, I don't know, around here or at the edge of this little bed here, and we're going to put another hydrant in, and that is going to give us the opportunity to water easily from this end of the garden rather than dragging a hose 100 foot and then having to coil it back up and back and forth. You know, we can just have a dedicated hose sitting here, a dedicated hose sitting up there, and it's going to make our lives easier, I hope. Next thing, we found a big pile of sand inside an old tire. And Amber mixed that up with some leaf litter, sprayed it down with a diatomaceous earth suspension, and brought it to the garden. We used our little backhoe and filled our raised beds in various places. And we're going to have root crops in the large circular things. These are what the farmers use to feed hay to their cattle, and it keeps the cattle from stepping in the hay. And we met a farmer who was downsizing in the cattle business. He still has a few, but he had a bunch of these things, and so for 20 bucks a piece we picked up so far 5 of them, and he's got a 6th one for us, which is awesome because instant red raised bed. It's about 16 inches tall and about 5 inches across. Really the ideal size for that sort of thing. And so, like I said, root crops are going to go in there, carrots and whatnot, although we are going to end up building some potato towers, which we were watching a video put up by Bear Independent. Highly recommend his channel. And he and his wife were building potato towers, which is a piece of fencing anywhere from 2 to 4 foot in diameter, although 4 might be a little bit large. You just make a column, and then you start stacking, and you put in dirt and manure and hay and a layer of potatoes in a circle around the close to the outside, and then another layer of dirt, manure, and hay, and more potatoes. And apparently you get a crazy amount of potatoes from a potato tower because all the soil is super soft and easy for them to grow, and potatoes just love it. And so we'll probably put in, I don't know, 5 or 6. We were at a hardware / garden supply store, and tractor supply, I mean, and they had boxes of seed potatoes, and we bought about 30 pounds of them. And so I'm hoping that'll allow us to put up at least 4 seed potatoes in between, or 4 potato towers, in between what we have here already that we've grown out of our own kitchen potatoes and what we picked up in the box. And so that's our little update for the day. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And so today we're counting our blessings that it is super breezy and barely over 80 degrees. Y'all have a blessed day.